Alam niyo ba na 59% ng Americans don't even have $1,000 in their bank account? And that 77% of Americans are in debt or may utang. At ang sinasabing pinakamalaking utang ng mga most of Americans here ay ang kanilang mortgage or yung utang nila sa bahay. And second is credit card. And at the moment, the total US household debt is at an all-time high to the tune of 18.33 trillion dollars. And average household debt is around $105,000. Wow, diba? Well, today I will be sharing my tips on how to become financially successful here in the US. And my name's Jennifer. I'm your Filipino friend living here in the US. Kamusta po? I'm on my way to work. That's why I'm in my car recording this vlog. And maybe you might think, well, not what makes you qualified to talk about this topic or give tips on how to become financially successful. Well, to be fair, I mean it's not like we're multimillionaires. We're working on becoming millionaires one day. But one thing I can share po is that me and my husband have been enjoying living a debt-free life for siguro about 12 years na po, no? And half of that 12 years, about 6 years, we were debt-free from credit card and student loan debt. And then 6 years ago po, we managed to pay off our mortgage. So, it's been consistent. Praise God na nakayanan namin ma-maintain ang debt-free life. We're not living paycheck to paycheck. We have some savings account for emergency funds, and we are also putting in money in our retirement fund. We still have a ways to go, but we're hoping with God's grace, God's blessings and provisions that we will be able to hit our goal and be able to hopefully even retire early. So anyways, hopefully that's enough for me to be somewhat qualified to give tips on how to become financially successful here in the US. Okay, so let's get to it. Ang number one na tip ko po, lalo sa mga bagong pupunta dito is, as much as you can, don't go into debt. Don't go into debt. Or as much as possible, wag talaga kayong mangutang. Yan talaga ang magiging killer ng ability nyo to build wealth. Now, of course, common sense po lahat, no? I've moved here in the US 20 years ago. Kung mangungutang kayo, please make sure na yung uutangin yung pera ay gagamitin nyo sa bagay na makakapagbigay sa inyo ng ROI or yung tinatawag na return of investment. Example ng utang na magbibigay sa inyo ng return of investment or would also allow you to increase your income is, going for, further education, or in my case, ako po, cosmetology. Diba? So, nag-aral po ako ng cosmetology, pinangutang ko po yan, nag-student loan ako, but I hurried up and paid it off as soon as I can. Kasi ayoko magbayad ng malaki sa interest. But, yan namang inutang ko na yan, talaga brought me so much ROI. And not just financially, but ultimately, yung freedom ko to be my own boss. That's really, for me, one of the biggest thing. Kasi I can go home to the Philippines whenever I want. I don't have to ask permission, And this is the type of skill set lalo dito sa America. Especially if you do good work and you're talented. I can do so many things with my cosmetology license. Obviously, right now, I work, I'm renting a spot, a shop. But if I don't want to do that anymore, I could do it at home. I could travel and do home service. I could also start a bridal updo business, which I've done that before. So I can apply this skill. Women always need their hair done. Okay, so pinangutang ko yan, but my return of investment. Now, kotse, okay? Kotse doesn't have return of investment, but you may need it in order to get around, to go to work and seek business. Okay lang yan. Dito sa Michigan, you really need to have a car kasi wala kaming dito talagang yung mass public transportation. So in this case, like me, I drive 30 minutes to my shop. I need this car, diba? To make money, to go out there and make money. Pero I make sure when I started here 20 years ago, I bought a cheap car. Honda Civic two-door, $3,700, $3,700. I paid it cash. I've drove that thing for 7 years, and then snowball ako. Pag nakakaipon ako, pag ready na mag-upgrade, I always have enough money to pay for my next car cash. So always try to pay your car cash, and always try to find the cheapest, best deal, simple car that you could find. And I recommend Honda. I'm a Honda girl. So yun lang, walang problema mangutang, pero make sure na yung pinangungutang nyo would give you return of investment. Okay? All right, number 2 is use your time to make money. Okay? So it sounds simple and straightforward. So what do I mean by this? Kasi syempre, you always wanna create cash flow. Diba? Sa nanay ko to natutunan eh. Diba? Mahirap kasi yung withdraw ka lang ng withdraw. Diba? So, make sure na yung oras na ginagamit mo is, you're using your time to make cash flow or to create cash flow. So yon. Siyempre, bawal ang tamad dito sa Amerika. The good thing about here in the US is maraming racket. You can do so many things in order to generate income, to use your time to, make money and create cash flow. Okay, so don't be lazy. Bawal ang tamad. And use your time wisely, and make sure na nagiging productive kayo yung oras na meron kayo, hindi lang Facebook, doom scrolling, and K-drama. Make sure that you're using your time to create cash flow and to make money. Okay? Number 3, once you start creating cash flow, do not go into lifestyle inflation. Okay? So, thank you for allowing me to have Código. So, okay, lifestyle inflation. I love that term because talagang na-explain doon yung nangyayari sa. It's a term that really explains kung ano yung tendency ng mga tao when they start making money. And I'm so glad my mother really taught me this sa kabataan pa lang, na ang sabi niya, ang formula daw is pataasin ang income, pababain ang overhead. So, yan ang pinakamaganda, na talagang pinapataas mo yung income mo, tapos you're lowering your overhead or your bills. So, pero most of the time, ang nangyayari sa tao is, as soon as they start making more money, then they increase their lifestyle. Diba? So, if you got $20,000 per year increase, you're gonna end up going on vacation. So, imagine niyo kung halimbawa, let's say, ang ni-lifestyle inflation nyo lang is nagbakasyon kayo, nagpunta kayo ng Italy. And then it cost you $10,000 to $15,000. Diba? You almost like spent that 20,000 na increase mo for the year. So, baliwala din. Hindi mo rin mararamdaman at hindi mo rin makikita yung naging increase ng income mo. So, kaya be very careful with lifestyle inflation. Okay? So, syempre lahat man balance. Obviously, if you're the type of person who's making like $500,000 a year, you could afford to do more than someone who's only making $100,000 a year. Pero here's the thing. Katulad nga ng sinabi, it's not the amount of money you make. It's how you manage or you handle your money. Diba? So, in this case, perfect example is, let's say, doctor ka, you're surgeon, you're big surgeon, you're making $500,000 a year. Pero itong simpleng nag-o-opisina na making maybe $70,000 a year, let's say, ikaw, you're making $500,000, but you're spending $600,000, diba? So, negative ka pa. Pero itong simpleng tao na making 70K or let's just say 80K, but is only spending 70K, is nakakapag-save ng $10,000 a year. So, sino ngayon ang, diba? Ang mas may pera, diba? So, be very careful with lifestyle inflation. It's very tempting to do that here in the US kasi ang daling magpautang ng mga bangko, and then you get bombarded every minute. Now, you need to buy this, you need to consume, and then you see your friends, buying nice, cars and malalaking bahay, and then mape-pressure ka. If you're not careful, then you will fall in the lifestyle inflation dilemma. Okay? So, Be careful with lifestyle inflation. Okay, next, eto na-mention ko na to, yung increase cash flow, decrease overhead. So, paano ko ginawa to? As I was increasing my cash flow, binabayaran ko na ng binabayaran yung mortgage namin. Principal, binibilisan ko ng bayaran. So, nung nabayaran na namin yung bahay, di na-enjoy namin, lalong bumaba na yung bills. All of the debt we paid off each time we close a credit card or a student loan, you know, bumababa yung overhead namin. So, that's the formula. Okay? All right. And then, the next one is avoid looking at what other people have. Okay? And so yan. So ito yung napaka-importante nito na i-avoid natin yung tinitignan natin yung kung ano yung meron yung mga ibang tao. Okay? And you have to help yourself, lalo social media, no? It's easy to see, you know, families going to Europe, you know, or you look at your home, you have the simple home. Tapos makikita niyo yung iba, talagang may mga magagandang island pa, no, backsplash, you know, nice house, big house. But here's the deal. Unless, you know, you can confirm na talagang fully paid yung bahay nila, at the end of the day, it's still utang. Okay? Unless binayaran nila yung $50,000 na kotse nilang Magara, it's still utang. And you know what? You can do the same. You can get that car, and depending on your income, of course, most likely, you can, kung halos pares na kayo ng trabaho nung nakikita mo na mas maganda yung bahay sa'yo, most likely, papayagan ka rin ng bangko mangutang, but keep in mind, you will have the utang. Diba? So here, you know, when I started here in the US, I was driving a cheap car, and then my coworkers were driving nicer cars. But you know what? My old car may be old, but you know what? It's mine. Yun ang naipagmamalaki ko na at least kahit ganyan luma yung kotse ko noon, no, paid yan. Cash ko binayaran yan. And yung mga ibang katabi ko na, yes, magaganda yung kotse, $20,000, $25,000, utang yon. Okay, so just remember, lalo sa social media world, everyone wants to show yung grand life. Pero sa totoo lang, if you do the math, unless, you know, you can confirm na ikaw talaga talagang ang cash flow mo is to the tune of like millions, you know, most of us are most likely able to afford the same things. Does that make sense? Diba? So, huwag kayo masyado magpadala sa mga post, sa magagarang post. Okay? Use logic, use common sense. You can tell, especially what they do for a living, you can have an idea kung magkano din naman lang din ang possible na income nila. You know? But ultimately, you have to be at peace with yourself. You have to, ito nga, you know, dito napapasok yung pagiging Kristiyano na ang worth and value mo is not based on what you have. Okay? And anyway, whatever you have, lahat yan ang galing kay God. Manager ka lang. Diba? But I digress. Okay, number, ano ba to? 6 na tip ko is start a business. Okay? So, become an entrepreneur. Alam nyo, bata pa lang ako, ito yung hinammer sa utak ko ng uncle ko, pati mami ko, no? As much as possible daw, if we can, try to become an entrepreneur, a business owner. Kasi especially ngayon with inflation, bigyan ko yung example, diba? If you're an employee, you know, siguro most of the time naman, magbibigay din naman ng increase yung company nyo para matulungan kayo sa inflation. But you are at the mercy of your company to employer, you know, to give you a salary increase. For me, as a hairdresser, salon owner, I can dictate if I want to increase my prices, 'di ba? I cannot also be unemployed kasi I am my own boss, okay? But especially here in the US, you know, ang daming racket dito. You can be self-employed. You could start a cleaning business, commercial, residential. My husband started a window cleaning business like 15 years ago. So he's also self-employed. Dog sitting, cat sitting, house sitting. You could, you know, the elderly people here needs a lot of help. You could be the type of person that provides service for elderly care. Hindi naman laging lahat yung naglilinis kayo or nagpapaligo kayo ng matanda. Pwedeng you're taking them to grocery stores, to doctor's visits, you're running errands for them, you're buying them groceries. Basta ang daming racket dito. Obviously, you can do Grubhub, you can do Uber. So, you can be your own boss. Okay? And that's where you can really, ako I believe, yung talagang um, may opportunity talaga to increase your cash flow, 'di ba? Hindi, again, you're not at the mercy of your employer kung magde-decide sila na bibigyan ka ng increase or not. So, strive to become a business owner here in the US, okay? And then next is once you have a job, you started a business, whatnot, you have cash flow, make sure that you start investing. Ito siguro yung for me, I wish I would have done sooner because, with investing, ang kaibigan mo dyan is yung oras. Kasi it's about compounding interest. So this is the thing that you really, really need. Actually, kahit pagdating nyo pa lang dito sa US, i-check nyo na yan, stock market, index funds, Roth IRA, all these things, i-check nyo na yan. S&P 500, learn about these things like total index fund, S&P 500, Roth traditional IRA, open a brokerage account, and then learn about this and start investing. Kasi yan yung nag-compound and will allow you to make money while you sleep, so to speak. So start investing. Okay? Okay. And then yung next na sinama ko dito sa list on how to be financially successful. But before that, let's recap, diba? So don't go into debt, use your time to make money. Once you start creating cash flow, don't go into lifestyle inflation. And then the best formula is increase your cash flow and decrease your overhead. Do not avoid looking at what other people are doing, kung ano yung mga binibili nila. Do not keep up or compete with the Joneses. Start a business, become an entrepreneur, and start investing. And then the next na masasabi ko, syempre pag nagawa nyo na yung mga bagay na yon, ang pinaka-importante is generosity. One of the most important ingredients to become financially successful is to prioritize giving. Okay? Isa pang formula na masasabi ko is to give some, to spend some, save some, and give some. So dapat yan tatlong yan nagagawa niyo yan. Because at the end of the day, especially if you are a Christian, you should know na everything that you have came from God, and God is using you na maging steward ng kanyang perang ibinigay sa iyo, ng resources. And you are to share it, lalo sa mga brothers and sisters natin na nangangailangan ng tulong. That's one key thing. We're being tested by God kung tayo ba ay faithful sa Kanya, at para maiwasan din na tayo ay maging idol worshiper ng ating mga pera. God doesn't want us to be attached to material things, ika nga. And so yan, napaka-importante. Sorry, na-distract ako kasi medyo yung traffic medyo wild. So anyways, going back, I just wanna reiterate the importance of generosity and giving. If you have a church, pag mag-share kayo sa church para matulungan sila sa mga bills na sa church, they call it tithing. But give freely, be a happy giver, but also give to other people, to animal shelters. The point is that you'll be happier if you're following the rule of giving some, saving some, and then spending some. So yung spending some is also important kasi yung iba, hirap na hirap gumastos, that you don't get to enjoy your money. So it's okay to spend some of your riches, as long as you're saving and then you're giving. Okay? So, and last but not the least, connected dyan sa giving and generosity, and it's because, we want to obey God. Siya ang provider natin, siya nagbigay ng kung anong meron tayo. Ultimately, last but not the least, is like always give the glory to God. be a good steward and servant of God and give Him thanks for everything that you have. Okay? So, ma-reiterate ko lang, parang i-connect ko, di ba, sa mga DPWH flood control scandal, itong mga Nepo babies, di ba? Alam nyo, kaya tinuturuan tayo ng Diyos magbigay. It's not just for the sake of giving. Alam niyo, yung malalim din yan eh. Ang isang reason then for that is bilang tatay talaga natin, He doesn't want us to become attached to money. So, every time you're making a conscious decision to give away portions of what you have, na nawawala yung yung element or yung tendency mo maging greedy. Kasi tayo, bilang humans, may mga ganyang tendency talaga tayo. So para wag matuluyan na maging greedy tayo or attached, tinuturuan tayo ng Diyos na let go some. Kasi nakakatulong yun. You're practicing letting go until nagiging normal na sa'yo. And then when you do that, it's what's best for you. Everything that God tells us to do is for our own good. And be humble. You know, humility is everything. Kasi sabi nga sa Job, di ba, God gives and God takes away. So, you know, if God will take it away from you kung nakikita niya na it's not good for you. Pag nakikita niya na hindi nagiging maganda yung epekto ng pera sa'yo, He can take away from you. Kasi He loves you. He wants you to change and He wants you to do well. He wants you to be more humble and more giving and ayaw niyang ma-attach ka sa pera. Diba? So, yan ang ating tips on how to become financially successful. And, you know, God is good. Siguro if I may add lastly, you know, yung relationship nyo kay God, deepening your relationship with God, will automatically, sa akin ha, you know, make you, you know, parang give you this wisdom. Diba sabi nga, the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. Kasi pag, you know, if you respect God, if you fear Him, then you respect Him, then you revere Him, then you obey Him. And then when you obey Him, then you develop wisdom. Okay? So, ang magpapalaya sa inyo sa jealousy, 'di ba? Sa pakikipag-compete sa ibang tao, sa inyong insecurity, tendency to be attached or greedy, or yung feeling nyo na hindi enough, yung insecurity nyo sa pera, you think you don't have enough, ang makakagamot lang yan is si God. Pag talagang kayo, deep yung relationship nyo kay God, you have faith, you know, you are surrendered to Him, it parang it follows na yung kung ano yung mga insecurities nyo, nawawala yan. Kasi nga, sobrang confidence nyo kay God eh. 'Di ba? So, there you go. Alright, well, I hope nagustuhan nyo ang ating vlog today. Comment kung kayo ba, ano ba maidadagdag nyo na tips to become financially successful. Share nyo sa ating community yan. And if you like this video, please click the like, mag-subscribe na rin kayo. And salamat sa panonood and I will see you on the next video. God bless you po.